What's up, you guys? My name is Jana. I am a kettlebell instructor and certified personal trainer. Today we're going through a sample kettlebell workout of one of the classes that I teach at Level here. This is week 3 or 4, so I have progressed some of these exercises. But if this is your first time doing this program, then I will be providing you with some beginner-friendly exercises. We are going to start off with our first block of work, which is a lateral swing that goes into a step-out lunge with a press and a windmill. It's more of a flow that I will progressively add on to, okay? We'll work on each of those movements alone and then slowly get into it as one big flow. Our block 2 is some single leg deadlifts with an offset load, and we have some rows with that as well. Gorilla rows. Rolls or rows? Rows. Gorilla rows. Anyways, last one, maybe I'm hungry. Last one, we have our halos in an isometric lunge, which works on anti-rotational work and some stability work. All of these exercises are great for everybody, really anyone that rotates, anyone that picks things off the ground or lifts them over their head, but especially athletes. So if you're a golfer, you're a fighter, if you're an athlete that rotates, this workout is really good for you. If you're none of those things, then are you even human? I don't know, maybe not. All right, let's do this. Our first movement is a lateral single arm swing. I want to make sure I start off with a kettlebell across my body. So if I'm carrying the kettlebell with my right hand, the kettlebell is going to be on the left hand side. Okay, so it's to the outside of my left toes. I'm going to go for 2 low swings and then extend my knees, my hips, and stand up tall into a standing plank, making sure that the shoulders don't dip side to side in this position. And then I'm going to bend my knees and then come back up. Think about this as being a very squatty swing, okay? So we're gonna do 10 to 12 reps of the lateral swing, and then we're gonna get into our next movement. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, 2 low swings. 1, 2, stand up tall. That's your first rep. 2. Again, doing 10 to 12 reps, standing up tall. I don't mind a bit of a rotation as you lower down, as you dip your right shoulder down. But when you come up standing, you should be able to stand up tall. If not, maybe that kettlebell is a little too heavy for you. Last one here. And we're gonna slowly bring it back down the same way we picked it up. So 2 low swings down to bring it back down. All right, going over to the other side. Again, 10 to 12. So this time I'm lifting it up with my left palm. It's to the outside of my right toes. We're starting in 3, 2, 1. Again, 10 to 12 swings. 2 low, 1 high. You can look towards your hand, towards your kettlebell on the way up. Having a little bit of a rotation on the way down. At the end of the day, the hips are moving, are dipping, and the shoulders like to follow the hips. Last 3, 2, 1. Bring it down, nice and low. You can do the 2 swings down or the single swing back to the floor, as long as you're placing it down to the floor smoothly and gently. One of my biggest pet peeves is we'll be doing the swing, we'll swing, whatever, and then we just drop the kettlebell. Why? What did that poor kettlebell do to you? So try to put it down the same way you picked it up. All right, our second movement. We're gonna get into our step out lunge, okay? So we first broke down this exercise in week 1 and 2 as an explosive clean into a lunge. That's exactly what we're gonna start off with right here. So bring the kettlebell in between your feet, right under the center of your gravity, under your hips. And I wanna make sure I'm bending into my knees. Again, it's a squat pattern, okay? Going up and down. I'm bringing the kettlebell to my shoulder. If it's on my right shoulder, I'm gonna step out with my right foot. The side. Bring it back down, 8 to 10 reps. Step out, turn all 10 toes towards the direction that you want to go to. So I don't want to leave my left toes behind. I don't want to step out with my right and my left toes are still facing forward. Bending into that knee. Come back up. Inhale down, exhale up. Step out. 2 more here. Last one here. Good, place it back down, 15 seconds off. We're gonna go over to the other side, 8 to 10 reps again. Deep breath in, bringing the heart rate down. This time, cleaning it to your left shoulder. Left foot steps out to the side and forward. 3, 2, 1. Bring it to your shoulder, step out with your left foot. I'm bending into both knees to go into that step out lunge. A lot of times we put a lot of load in the front knee, and that really hurts because most of your weight is in that left knee. So it's very quad dominant. When you start bending into that back knee as well, we're distributing the weight a little bit more evenly. Let's do 3 more. I always say this in my classes. Once I've cued more than 3 hints or 3 things, I've lost count. They gotta help me out. Bring it back down. Again, I'm giving you these ranges. Keep kind of your own reps. The first one was 10 to 12. This one is 8 to 10. So I'm gonna face this way just because we were just there. And I'm going to place the kettlebell on my left shoulder. Left knee is forward, right knee down. In your kneeling press, I'm going to press up overhead, and I'm going to add a little bit of a rotation and bring it back down. It's a closed chain press because my left knee is forward, so it's preventing my hip from opening up with me. We're going to go for 8 to 10 reps here. When you're pressing, push your knuckles up straight towards the ceiling. Always in control of where that kettlebell goes. So it's right over the shoulder, not in front of it, not behind it. One more here. And lower back down. Stay in kneeling position. We're just going to switch sides. Right foot forward, left knee on the floor, which means the kettlebell is going to go on that right shoulder. 8 to 10 reps here. In 3, 2, 1, press. So if you're working from home and the kettlebells are limited and you can't do a press, then I'm just gonna get you to do a bit of a rotation. So you're gonna keep the kettlebell on your shoulder and rotate towards the front thigh, okay? If you do have a little bit more flexibility with the weights, then definitely press it overhead. If it's too heavy that you can't do 8 to 10, give me 6 to 8. Work with what you have. Last one here, and release. Great job. We're gonna stay on the floor. We're gonna stay on the floor. We're gonna have our left foot forward again, right knee down, going back to that same position with a kettlebell on our left shoulder and getting into our windmill. Now, this exercise was in our last phase, which we worked on for 4 weeks straight. We've actually been working on the windmill for longer than that, so it is more of an intermediate exercise. My option for you is to either completely skip this exercise, or I'm gonna give you a variation where you just place the palm down, okay? So kettlebell on your left shoulder. We're gonna press that way overhead. Take a look at the kettlebell, keep your eyes on the prize, and then you're gonna push your hips back, keep the bend into your knee, place the right palm down, and then come back up. That's your variation. You can take it, or you can go one step further and bring that right elbow down towards the floor. Whee! Again, keep your eyes on the kettlebell the whole time. You're rotating and dropping the elbow down. Rotate, drop that elbow down. Smoothly bringing the elbow down towards the floor and coming back up. Going again, 8 to 10 reps here. Trying your best to almost place your palm on the floor like there's a bunch of eggs on there and you don't want to break the shells. Last one here. Good. I'm over to that side, right foot forward. Before I go into a windmill, I like to open it up on a 45-degree angle so I create a bit more space for my hips to push back. If my knee stays forward, there's not much space for me to go and it's gonna limit my range of motion. So after that kettlebell press that we just did, you're gonna step out your foot on a 45-degree angle. Keep that kettlebell on your right shoulder. Keep your eyes on your kettlebell. We're gonna rotate, left palm down, or the option to go all the way down, left elbow to the floor, and coming back up. Again, 8 to 10 reps here. Trying to keep the bend into the front knee. My right side's like, no problem, I can do this for an hour. Left side's an issue. When you're going forward, really try to stack the right shoulder on top of left shoulder. One more here. And release. All right, so that is round number 1. We're gonna put all of those exercises together. We're gonna start off with the lateral swing into the step out lunge, and then we'll do the shoulder press into the windmill, then add all 4 together. Okay, you're gonna have some water, you can towel off. We're gonna get started. Round number 2. Let's do that lateral swing. We'll do it 6 to 8 reps right into that lunge, okay? So I'll demo what that looks like before we start. Going into that swing. 1 swing just to set it up. 2nd swing, we're gonna step out and lunge. Way back down, 1 swing, into 1 step out lunge. Okay, so give me a single one of each, alternating. 1 lateral swing, 1 step out lunge. We're starting all together. Weight in your right hand, kettlebell to the outside of your left toes. In 3, 2, 1. 2 low swings, 1 high swing. Get ready to step it out and lunge. You can also swing, place it to your shoulder and step out. If you're doing the variation where we're going right to the kettlebell, bring the shoulder to the kettlebell. Try that again. 1 high swing. There you go. 1 high swing. Bring your shoulder to the kettlebell. Come back up. Or again, you can always take it down a notch, bring it to your shoulder, and then step out on lunge. Last one here. Good. Nice. Release. 15 seconds off, 15 to 30. If you need more to make sure that heart rate goes down, and do that other side with just as much effort, then take the 30 seconds off. Whenever we do unilateral work, the second side is always slightly compromised. So making sure that heart rate comes back down. I actually usually like to start on my left side because I know my right side is stronger. Okay, we'll do that for round 3. Okay, other side, weight in your left hand. You're gonna step out with your left foot. We're gonna go for 1 swing, 1 lateral swing, 1 lunge. 2 low swings, take it up high. Get ready to step out with that left foot. Bring it down, 1 high swing, 1 lunge. Option again to slow it down. Bring it to your shoulder, then lunge. Sound effects always helps, not just in fighting, in everything that we do. Good. 6 to 8 reps here. Standing up tall, remembering the same cues from round 1. Just because we're putting it together, getting a bit faster, I don't want you to forget about keeping your core strong, staying tall in that standing plank, keeping the integrity of this moves. Last one here. All right. So those 2 exercises, we put them together, the lateral swing into the lunge. We're gonna put the press and windmill together. Let's meet on the floor. So we'll start off on the right side, which means left knee down, right foot forward, step it out on a 45-degree angle, okay? We'll do 1 press, bring it down, press it again, drop the left elbow down, bring it back to the shoulder. 1 press, bring it down, press it again, rotate, drop the left elbow down. Putting it all together, 1 press, bring it down, up, rotate, that's 3. We're going up to 6, press it, windmill it. You can slow it down if you choose. Last one here. Keep your guys up towards the kettlebell. And lower back down. Other side. Left foot forward, right knee down, left shoulder. Kettlebell on the left shoulder, rather. Let's press it. Let's windmill it. Bring in the right palm down, right elbow down. We have 6 reps here of the press and the windmill. Both are 1 rep. This is 2. 3. Keeping the ribs in. Try not to flare them out. 4. 5. And remember to lower down towards the floor with control, and also pushing off with control. I don't even want to say push off, lift off with control. Release. All right, take another 15 to 30 seconds off, and let's put them all together for your round 3. Round 3. At this point, I would have hype music to get you hyped up. Take an active recovery rest, moving the hips side to side. Who needs music, right? When the music is in your head. All right, let's put it all together. So we have that lateral swing, a step out lunge, and then you're gonna stay in that lunge, stay here, pressing out into that windmill. Coming back up to do it again. One swing, 1 lunge, press out and windmill. Okay, so I'm gonna demo on the left side because that's where we're starting off. And I just want you to look for the first 2 reps. So bring the kettlebell low, high, and then we're gonna lunge it. Stay here, press it and windmill at the same time. Come back up from that lunge, tuck your toes under, then back up to standing. Do it again, 1 swing, 1 lunge, press and windmill. Okay. So we're always going to do that. Swing first, lunge second, press and windmill. We got it, round 3. Let's do this. Let's do 6 to 8 on each side, okay? We're gonna start off again with a kettlebell in our left hand, which means the kettlebell has to go right in front of my right toes to the side of it. In 3, 2, 1, 2 low swings, 1 high swing, step out with your left. Stay here, press out, and drop into that windmill. Come back up into standing. Let's do 1 swing, 1 lunge. Stay low, press and windmill. This is 2. Come back up. Again, 1 swing, 1 lunge. You got the hang of it now. This is 3. Again, I want 6 to 8. Sometimes when we rush it, we lose control. So take your time with it. Woo! I added this one just to show you. I wasn't supposed to do that. I was supposed to wait until the 4th round, but I'll do it again. Option to snatch it and drop the elbow down. 1 more here. Skipping a step this time. 1 swing, right into that snatch, and drop the elbow down. Good. So if you had missed that, don't worry, I'm gonna actually break it down in round 4. My body was like, oh, we know this exercise, let's just go there. And I actually forget that I'm teaching or coaching. Okay, so we're gonna do the other side, keeping it to the clean into press. If you like that variation for the last 3 reps, and you feel good doing it, go ahead and skip that step. But if you want, then take your time and wait for me to coach you into it, then we have round 4 for that. Okay. Kettlebell in your right hand. Bring the kettlebell to the outside of your left toes. Let's get started. In 3, 2, 1. 2 low, 1 high. Get ready to lunge. Stepping out with your right. Press and windmill. Come back up. Swing it first. Lunge it second. Windmill it. Press. Good. This is 3, 4. Option for that snatch, just because I did it on the other side. Almost lost it there. Swing, optional snatch. We'll do 1 more here. Swing, press it up, and drop that elbow. Good, bring it down. Whew. that obviously shoots the heart rate up, right? And that's something that I want you to keep in mind. Yes, a kettlebell workout is just a single equipment workout, but it works on both cardiovascular and strength. You can get stronger, you can shoot your heart rate up. It's one of the best things to have. But if you don't have a kettlebell at home, then dumbbells work fine, okay? The pressing and the snatching and the cleaning will be slightly different, but you can still get into those ranges. It's just a different variation. It's not a rotation anymore. It's just shooting it up, almost like you're punching up in the air, okay? All right, round 4. So that's the one that I just sneakily showed you in round 3, just because my body was super excited to get into there. So round 4, we put it all together. We're gonna do a 1 swing, 1 snatch, right into that windmill. So you're pressing, rotating, and dropping straight down, okay? You gotta make sure that you keep your core engaged to help with stability, okay? The second we lose engagement of the core, the body kind of just, we start becoming a little bit almost like a wet noodle all over the place, right? Or sometimes we're tired, and that's what happens. And that's why I need you to take enough of a break in between these rounds so you can feel fresh for your next one. We're gonna start off on the left side, going 6 to 8 reps right into that snatch. To be able to get into that snatch, I want you to think about rowing, driving the elbow back, and then punching up in the air as you lunge, okay? It's one movement. We're doing it simultaneously. So as I bring that elbow out to the side, as I'm punching up in the air, I'm stepping my left foot there. You can see that it's an advanced movement, and this is the reason why I said try not to progress right away, especially if this is your week 1. Try these movements by themselves first, repeat it 4 sets, and then slowly put them in together, just like we did for round 2. Okay, let's do this. Last one. Kettlebell in your left hand to the outside of your right toes. We're starting in 3, 2, 1. Option to take that snatch. 1 swing, take it all the way up, snatch it, place that knee down, windmill it, okay? You have the option to take away the swing now and go right into that snatch every single time. Swinging it into the snatch, dropping the knee, dropping the elbow. Now it's a bit faster. With the lateral swing, you might be sore all over your posterior chain. Your lats might be super sore just because it's a lot more lat dominant, especially trying to control the kettlebell on the way down, eccentrically and concentrically. 1 more here. And release. Then a regular swing when you're just going forward and back. 15 to 30 seconds. Over to the other side, and we're gonna get into our block number 2. So kettlebell in your right hand to the outside of your left toes. We're gonna skip that swing. We're gonna go right into that snatch, stepping that right foot down, whoop, with us. Wouldn't that be great? Tripping on a kettlebell online. This is how my videos go viral. All right, get ready. Kettlebell to the outside of your left toes in your right hand in 3, 2, 1. 2 low swings, 1 high. Let's just set it up for a while. Step up or step snatch and come back up. Let's do that now right into the snatch. Swing, snatch it, step, press, windmill. We always have one side that's a little bit more dominant than the other, and that's okay. Sometimes I like to do more reps on the side that's less dominant. Press. Making sure that you're kicking your shin out to the side for that windmill. It's gonna really help you with the stability, this movement. Okay, dropping the elbow down. We'll do 2 more here. Last one here. And come on up. Whew. All right, you can pause this video, take 90 seconds off, and let's get into block number 2, where we have our single leg deadlift and our gorilla rows. For block number 2, you do need 2 kettlebells that are different weight, but if you just have 1 kettlebell at home, then you're just gonna work with the 1, okay? So your 1 kettlebell will be the heavier one when I'm cueing this exercise. So this next one is an offset single leg deadlift, right? There's a few variations to do this. You can do it with the toes still down in a B stance position. I just want to make sure that whenever I say B stance or staggered position, the most common mistakes is we get into a lunge, and it's not a lunge. I want you to still think about having your toes are in line with your front heel and you're high on the back heel. So now that we got that position, the staggered position, we're going to either keep that foot on the floor or we're going to get into our hinge movement, okay? What happens, again, another common mistake is we want to hinge, but then we don't have the flexibility in the hamstrings and that leg is not as high or in line with the shoulder. So the leg is so far down. I want to make sure that my back heel is in line with my shoulders. So I am also not keeping my heel here and dropping my shoulders down. That's not in line anymore. It's not a straight line. So again, working with where you're at right now, it doesn't need to happen from week 1. It might not happen from week 2, but over time, you can definitely get there. All right, so with a single leg deadlift, we're gonna have the heavier weight to the inside of the foot. So if my left foot is forward, my right foot is back, my heavy one's gonna be in my right hand. If you have the single kettlebell, you're just gonna have your kettlebell in your right hand. We're gonna start off standing. We'll start off with a staggered stance first, and then we can hover that back leg. We're going to push the hips back, keep a micro bend into the front knee, and I wanna hold at the bottom for a second, and then come back up and do that again. Take 2 seconds to lower down. 1, 2, hold at the bottom. Take 2 seconds to come up. 1, 2, 1 second at the top. Again, lower down for 2, holding for 1, coming up for 2, and standing up tall, okay? If you haven't joined me, now you can join me. Lower down for 2, hold it here, come back up, hold. You wanna try to get your nose in line with your toes. We're gonna aim for 8 reps here. 2 reps under, 2 reps over. I'm okay with, depending on what weight you have here or what weight you have at home. Hold, 2 seconds up, good. 1 more time here, lowering down, hold, 2 seconds up, hold, good, release. Once you're finished your 8 reps, shake it out. We have the other side. So we're gonna need to switch the kettlebells. Right foot forward, left foot back. The heavier one is gonna be on my left side, lighter one on in my right hand. Starting up tall, going for 8 reps again. Roll the shoulders back, engage your lats. We're gonna push the hips back, lower down for 2. Hold, come up for 2. Hold at the top. Again, lower down for 2. Hold your end range, coming up. A lot of times I see this position at the bottom where I've almost given up, is what I like to think of it. I wanna keep the engagement in my lats, keeping the shoulders back. I don't want the kettlebell to pull me down. I always like to say, I'm carrying that kettlebell, so show me that you're carrying that kettlebell rather than it pulling you down towards the floor. Hold, up. Let's do 2 more here. Push your hips back. Try to line up your nose over your toes. Come back up, 1 more here. Good, release. All right. Second movement is gorilla rows. We're gonna have our feet pretty wide. Think about a sumo squat position. And we're gonna start off with rowing on our left side. We're gonna stay here. We're not going to alternate sides. So I want you to push your right palm into the kettlebell or dumbbell and then row with the heavier one. Your load is in your hips, okay? I'm making sure that I have my hips back and my shoulders are not lower than my hips. So bend your knees as much as you can, okay? We're gonna start here in 3, 2, 1. Giving me 10 to 12 rows. Driving the elbow back towards your hip. Try to bring the thumb to your lower ribs. Really push your other hand into the other kettlebell to take some pressure away from the low back. Last one here. And switch kettlebells. You can always come up, do a little twist here, side to side to release the low back. Sometimes we'll feel that mainly in our low back, especially after deadlifts if we're not engaging our core properly, or sometimes if we're carrying a weight that's too heavy for us. Rolling back down, do the other side in 3, 2, 1. 10 to 12 reps here, gorilla rows. Trying to drive the elbow past your torso. Bringing the thumb to your lower ribs again. Nicely done, you guys. I'm sure you're doing great. I'm sure everybody that's in my classes is doing great. And anyone who's trying this for the first time, you're doing great. Release. Okay, so that's round one. Unlike the first block, it's not gonna become a flow. There's not as many moving parts, right? We're gonna keep it somewhat steady. The only thing that's going to change now for round two is I'm just gonna go show you the variation where I have my leg hovering off the floor, okay? And you can definitely do that, but really make sure you're still driving the hips back. You wanna keep equal weight into your big toe, pinky toe, and the heel of the foot, right? So you're not lifting up your toes. That's your stability right there. That's like you lift up your toes, you're going to lose balance, probably fall back. There's no shame in falling back. That's how we learn. But those are just some things that you can avoid to help you stay balanced. Okay, other side. We're gonna start off standing. Roll the shoulders back, engage your lats. My left foot is forward, so my right leg is gonna kick back. I wanna make sure I start off with a micro bend to my left knee. Let's hinge for 2. Hold here, come up for 2, hold for a second, and then lower back down. 1, 2, hold, 2, 1, hold. 1, 2, hold, 2, 1, hold. If you feel like this variation is too much, place the toes down back on the floor. This is just an option for anyone that likes to play around with stability, especially now that we're loading one side a little bit heavier than the other. That unilateral stability is essential for athletes. We're gonna do 2 more here. Drive the hips back and then come back up. Good. If you're a runner, doing single leg work is probably one of the most beneficial things you could do to yourself. All right, you're constantly pushing off one foot, so building strength, one leg at a time, will just help you run faster, run more efficiently, run better. Okay, right foot forward. Let's do this. Other side. Have your kettlebell in your left hand. We're gonna do that again. Roll the shoulders back. Lats are engaged. In 3, 2, 1. Lower down for 2. Hold at the bottom. Come back up, and then hold at the top. I like to keep my gaze, you can say 30 to 45 degree in front of me, where I can still keep my neck neutral, where I'm not looking down at my chest, and I'm not looking up at myself in the mirror. It's not a natural position for the neck to be in. I also like to avoid looking at myself in the mirror, because the mirror is a moving reflection of yourself. So you need to make sure you're looking at something that's not moving. In yoga, it's called drishti. Find your drishti. I use that in kettlebells all the time. You never saw that. I never lose balance. Let's do 2 more here. And again, like I said, you lose balance, it's okay. And release. Facing it down to the floor, we got those gorilla rows. This time we'll start off with a heavier kettlebell, still on the left side, because I'm gonna assume that 80% of you, if not 85, maybe 90 even, are right-handed, okay? I don't know what the percentage is, but I'm sure maybe one of you guys will comment and let me know what it is. All right, gorilla rows. Feet nice and wide. Bend your knees so they're in line with your toes. Load your weight in your heels and your glutes. And let's start rowing in 3, 2, 1, 10 to 12 here. Driving the elbow back, looking straight down towards the floor. You don't need to look at yourself in the mirror. You look great. Look down and row. Sometimes it's nice to check our form in the mirror, but you can check it for 2 reps. You don't need to keep looking at yourself. Release. Switch sides. Come up, take those twists. Release that low back. Hinge. Let's do that again. Other side in 3, 2, 1. Drive that elbow back. Elbow to ceiling, thumb to lower ribs. Maybe you try to tap your thumb to your ribs every single time. Push your opposite hand in the kettlebell or dumbbell. If you do have a dumbbell, make sure You're pushing your hand on the flat part of it. In 3, 2, 1, release. Whew. All right, that was round 2. All you're going to do is repeat the exact same thing for round 3. We're not doing anything differently. You can take the first variation where your toes stay on the floor, or the second variation where you're hovering that leg, okay? We're going for the same amount of reps, just repeat it. You can pause the video or you can rewind it, but you're going to do that now before we get into our block number 3, or really last exercise. So now that we built strength under a position where you are imbalanced, especially with that weight, we're going to transition into an exercise that works on both stability, mobility, and strength. You're going to get into your halos with a kettlebell upside down, so holding it bottoms up in a lunge position. We're going to keep that knee hovering off the floor. I want you to squeeze your elbows forward, bring it around your head, whoo, and lower back down. What had happened here, the reason why I lost balance is because I started lifting up my toes. That's something that I was telling you not to do. So let's try that again. We're gonna get into our halos. We're gonna face the elbows forward, bring it around your head, dig your big toe into the floor. Try to keep the ribs in, stay low the whole time. This time we're going for 30 seconds here. Rotating one way. Keep your eyes on one single place that's not moving. Try to keep the elbows a little bit higher. We don't want to drop them all the way down. This actually gives us a micro rest every single time we go around the head. You're here for 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Okay, other side. So right foot forward, left foot back. Again, going for 30 seconds here. In 3, 2, 1. Go around the right shoulder, behind the head, towards the left shoulder, and around, forward. Staying nice and low the whole time. Maybe you're focusing here on your breath. Because we're going for time, you don't need to worry about anything else by keeping your form, keeping the stability in your core, keeping your toes on the floor, and moving with control. We're definitely gonna feel that heat in the shoulders, but you're actually gonna also feel that in your legs as well, because they're working on keeping you in that same position for extended time. In 3, 2, 1, release. All right, we're gonna do that one more on each time. Last time we had our left foot forward. We're bringing the kettlebell from the left shoulder towards the right shoulder. This time we're going to switch it from your right towards your left. So counterclockwise. Bringing the kettlebell from the right shoulder, behind the head, towards the left shoulder, and around. 30 seconds here. If this doesn't feel challenging enough for you, then you can grab either a heavier weight. You can go for 45 seconds. You can try to keep the elbows up the whole time so you can feel that tension. But if this feels like it's really hard, place the knee down towards the floor and keep that position. Try your best not to let your hips sway side to side. Let this strictly be a upper body exercise where the shoulders and the arms are moving and nothing else is moving. Almost there. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, release. Bring it back down. Go over to the other side. Last thing that we do here today. Getting started in 3, 2, 1. Right foot forward, left foot back towards the left shoulder, behind your head, then right shoulder. It's always nice to switch up the rotation from clockwise to counterclockwise to make sure that we're switching our movement patterns. We might get used to a single one every single time. The second we switch it from counterclockwise to clockwise, it might be a whole different story, and the body's like, what's going on? And this is part of the reason why I encourage everyone to work in different planes. We're here for 4, 3, 2, release. So that wraps up our kettlebell workout. As I said before, these are great exercises for athletes, but this is also great exercises for anyone that rotates and picks things off the floor or presses them overhead. If you're just a human picking up your child, trying to raise them with both hands and you're feeling pain there, these are exercises that are good to help you get stronger. You'll be able to move better, more efficiently, okay? Now that we are over and done with this workout, make sure you cool down. Please cool down, do those stretches. Don't Go back to your to-do list and all the things that you have to do. I know we all have errands to do, but take 2 minutes for yourself, minimum. Okay? If you like this video and you like this content, you would be helping me out by subscribing to my channel so I can post more videos like this. You can comment below if you have any suggestions or if you want me to cover anything else in the future. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great, if you're in Canada, snowy day. Have a good one.